The insane tech behind MrBeast's biggest video ever.
Open the gate!
That's MrBeast, and this is how he's about to pull off the highest budget, biggest production YouTube video ever. And also, that's $5 million real dollars.
Don't rob me.
So, there are 4 challenges that the contestants are going to be going through. This is us just before the first.
I gathered all the guards over here so you could test them. They're not supposed to show motion, basically just like mannequins.
So you guys are not supposed to speak.
That's cool.
This feels mean.
They're not gonna talk.
But they are going to dance if you catch them after hours.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's not his real skin.
Time for challenge 1, in which the contestants had to split up into 5 groups, and each group had to pull up a very heavy boulder as fast as they could.
Yo, okay, because there were I watched the original video. If there are 400 people pulling 10,000 pounds, what? That's like 20 pounds per person or something. That is not hard at all. 400 people, and you probably have somebody who could pull like easily 200 pounds. Just like, and you probably have like 5 of those, 10, maybe even 20 of those people on your team, right? That's not hard at all. Then you have everybody else doing like just doing like 50 pounds or something. Or if you all tug at once, like boom, 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 it just go flying up. Like I feel like 10,000 pounds for 400 people really isn't that many. Yeah, that's not that much. Seriously. Wow.
Person in the losing team gets eliminated.
I realize there's 2,000 contestants behind me shouting and screaming, but this is the coolest thing for me right now. So this structure right here has been custom built for this challenge to basically regulate the amount of pulling force required to lift that boulder. So the rope feeds through this contraption before it goes out to the contestants. And the way that it's weaved through on the inside determines how easy it is to pull.
So just to give you an idea of how important this is, the Beast team originally set this mechanism up to require 32,000 newtons of pulling force. But it's only as they started to...
Okay, so you're not actually pulling up 10,000 pounds. But the mechanism itself needs 10,000 pounds of weight to be pulled, if you get what I'm saying. I understand that. All right.
Test it a few days before, with a whole extra crew of playtesters, by the way.
It's moving a little bit.
But they realized 32,000 newtons is going to take people way too long for the challenge to be fun to watch. So, just by weaving this rope through the contraption in a slightly different way, they could quickly lower the required pulling force to just 10,000.
Oh, and also, this microphone here is sat there specifically to capture just the sound effect of the rope being pulled.
It's a little bit crazy just how many things you have to
That's cool.
think about if you want to do this right.
Even literally the flooring, Jimmy decided that he wanted this place to look like a coliseum, so they pulled out every single bit of AstroTurf from it.
Yo, like, Jimmy started out as some kid in his basement. Like, oh, not in his basement, my bad. In his room at the age of like 13 or 14, playing Minecraft, and now he's making a fucking a set of, like a Coliseum set to pull 10,000 pounds with 2,000 people, and the grand prize is $5 million. Like, how do you think he feels? Like, I know that was a while ago, like, that was more than 10 years ago, but, like, damn. The change that has happened. Like, wow. It's crazy. It's insane. Like, you gotta respect him for that.
And then they've covered it with these olive pits to basically give it that cinematic sand being thrown up feeling when people are running around through it.
This is the box camera we're using to adjudicate. As soon as one of these boulders cross the finish line, that's the winner. And so we'll be able to see from this camera.
So easy. One. I just need to pull it. That's all I need to do. I could be the only one in that line, and I'd pull that entire thing up.
Boulders last, and that team's eliminated.
It didn't even occur to me that you need adjudication cameras.
We set our camera at the same height as this finish line, so we can see exactly who won. They're both at 80 feet.
So every single contestant also has an NF.
Okay, 80 feet, 8 stories, right? That's a lot, actually. It's a high ass. What? Allegiant Stadium? Oh, okay. Do they just rent, like, how do you rent a stadium? How do you rent a stadium? Who owns it too? Is it the team? Is it the team who owns it, right? The team who plays there or practices there? I actually don't know. Interesting.
wristband that they're scanning to keep track
Alright,
of
I need to
who's
stop
in the
talking.
game and who's out of the game.
When you're out, they'll know that you need to go out too.
If you leave,
We're not leaving.
you're not leaving.
We're not leaving.
It took around 3 hours after revealing this first game before the thing actually kicked off. Partly to
Damn.
give the teams time to strategize, partly because everything takes longer than you expect when you're trying to organize this many people.
Wow.
This game genuinely lasted about
Did you see how fast that was being pulled up? That was insane.
15 seconds in total, and it was specifically designed to be that way.
Oh my god. That's literally it. Red team is done.
I just lost out on this chance to win $5 million.
We're not leaving. Okay. I can't believe
On the first game. Dude, I would be so mad. So mad. If I get placed in a shit team, I would be fucking pissed. I'd be like, I need to get out of this team now. If 400 people can't pull 10,000 pounds in less than 25 seconds, which I'm sure that's how long it took, that's cooked. I might be just overestimating it, but that's cooked.
quickly that happened.
MrBeast wanted to make sure that the first game people saw was as easy to explain as possible and as quick to finish as possible. Not so much for the people here, but more so that the viewers of the final video are able to get easily invested without feeling like they're suddenly having to learn something really complicated.
You can actually see people in that queue. They're so defeated. Some of them are crying. You know when you watch MrBeast videos online and you think, it can't be like that in real life? The feeling is very much here. Hey, what's up? I love you too. You all watch our videos?
Love your video.
Oh my god. Ricky,
They're so happy compared to the freaking red team. Oh my god.
you guys must feel like top of the world right now.
It was so nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking.
Does that scare you, like seeing what the other teams can do?
I can't be scared. We're a part of history here.
Well, I'm rooting for you guys personally because you're fans.
Yellow team. You heard that? Yellow team. Yellow team.
Yep, I heard that. Alright, yellow team for the win. And now, while we waited for game 2 to start, now felt like as good a time as any to head to the main camera room to see the belly of the beast. And while the camera team were out actually filming the show, who better to show us this room than Mr. Tariq?
Tariq has been there since day one, I'm pretty sure. Well, he's been there since they were filming videos like... I think he's been there since the fan video. Remember when he tried to push a car with a fan? Or with like hundreds of fans or whatever? I think I don't know. That might have been... I think so.
I saw you. A lot has changed from the equipment to how we go about things to the lighting. You've seen the scale of the projects. It has to be better. And Jimmy's not as particular about the cameras anymore.
So he used to be really in the weeds with it.
Now it's like, I trust and I like it. So these are just the ground cameras.
Those are just the ground cameras. Those are like 5K a pop too.
For talent, there'll be just for close-ups on any of the contestants, just like a grab and go, run and capture that moment.
This is very rigged up.
It's very rigged up, yeah.
I noticed every single one of these cameras has a light on it.
Darker images don't perform better retention-wise, at least is what we've learned. And then we have the time code here. It's just so we make sure everything is time-coded.
Ah yes, the time code. So they bought one of these devices to plug into every camera on this shoot for one job.
So whenever it goes to editing, they know exactly what happened and when it happened. So for example, if somebody falls and it's a really funny moment,
Every single camera, you could just search for that second.
Dude, I've actually done that before. I was in a trash can at school one time, and I tried getting out of it, and it looks like it's really hard to, like, do that, but it's actually way easier than you think. I tried to get out of it, right? And it's weird because trash cans become really top heavy, and I got my leg stuck on it, and you just fall on your face. It hurt so bad. Like, I genuinely was tweaking. Like,
You'll have 100 viewpoints of that one shot.
Almost 500 for this game.
Almost 500.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the rig has
500
evolved.
cameras.
A lot heavier. We have more stuff, especially like tailored for editing. Better mic, the signal just makes it easier to grab it and just get everything you need in one shot.
Holding this for about 5 minutes, I can see why there's a neck strap attached.
Oh yeah. I mean, you get some strong shoulders.
So that's the run and gun cameras. There's 28 of those and they are pretty high spec, totaling $100,000 in value. The only one of these that's a
Damn.
tiny bit different is MrBeast's personal camera rig, which has 2 lights on it instead of 1 to make him the brightest thing on screen so that your eyes are naturally drawn towards him. There's a whole cornucopia of lenses.
Dude, they've really boiled down everything into these videos. Like, everything. Like, from the amount of lights to the amount of noises you hear. Like, that's so insane. That's so much effort for just one video. Like, I know it's getting millions of dollars, but damn.
And they all have different purposes.
You guys use GoPros a
$200,000.
lot, but GoPros capture like a very different kind of shot to something like this. Is there a difference in what shots you use for what purpose?
Emotional shots, we try to do telephoto. So we put somebody on the other side and just zoom in on their face as much as you can and then just kind of get that reaction.
You'll see a lot of the most vulnerable, real moments on MrBeast videos being captured like this because the camera is so far away that the contestant isn't spotting it. And so
Dude, I'd be so mad if I just had, like, somebody on the side doing nothing and they're like, go, go, go. Like, get your, like, I'd be like, get your fat ass into here and frickin' pull. Like, okay, not trying to be mean, but go pull the rope. Like, screaming, go, 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 is it gonna do nothing? It's not gonna do anything. You're screaming at a crowd of 400 people. 400! That's not gonna do anything.
isn't acting for it. But that is far from the full suite of camera gear here. There's 35 Sony FX9 cinema cameras dotted
39. Oh my god. Oh my god. How much is that worth? Hold on.
around the stadium to get the main wide fixed
That's insane.
shots of the games. There's 10 pan-tilt zoom or PTZ cameras, which are also fixed in place but can be remotely
$100,000.
operated to control what they're looking at. 20 DJI Osmos for handing to the contestants to vlog certain sequences, since they are literally the easiest cameras to operate. All rounded off with 400, I kid you not, 400 GoPros. They use these because they're small enough to fit inside of things.
I had a GoPro like Hero 4 back in like 2018 or something. That shit was like, it was so fun to use because I remember I got it for like a day earlier for Christmas. Like, you know when you get like one gift? Does anybody else do that to where like they get one gift for Christmas and but like before Christmas, my bad, before Christmas Eve. Well, I got a GoPro. So I was like, okay. So I took the GoPro, I put it on like above the fireplace to see Santa Claus. That shit died in 25 minutes. I turned it on, went to bed, super excited, went downstairs, grabbed the camera, looked at the footage. 25 minutes of footage. I was so mad. I was so pissed. And then like 2 weeks later I found out that he was fake, so.
Also just blend into the background so they don't appear in the rest of the camera's shots. And that's not even factoring in all of the accessories like power banks for every single GoPro and also the proper flagship camera gear like the box cameras, the sky cameras and the whole army of drones, but we are getting to that.
I notice everyone's got delightful little nicknames for the different sections. And so hot and cold for this battery section, I assume hot means fully charged, cold means empty.
Yes.
It's exceptionally organized. You can tell this is someone's job to create this pile.
Absolutely.
Tariq then took
Your job is to put sort out batteries for a MrBeast YouTube channel. I don't know, like, how much money does he pay these people? Like minimum, I assume minimum wage. All right, like I assume minimum
To
wage.
Mac, who is the lead editor of the MrBeast team.
Why he's so tall, man? He's all dressed up, he's tall, and he pulls me out when I'm in my underwear and I'm all short. Sticks me right on camera. I am not short.
That's all we came here for. Yeah.
And now that we'd established that Mac definitely isn't short, I thought, well, MrBeast videos are pretty much the most consistently highly viewed videos on the internet. So given how involved Mac is, especially in the intros of them, how do these guys...
Wasn't Mac originally in oh my God, what was his name? Iraq? Wasn't he originally in Iraq and then he moved over to MrBeast because he got paid more or whatever? Or like Iraq faked his videos and he didn't like that. I don't remember the original reason, but I think that was like one of them. I don't know.
Sure that they perfectly capture your attention at the start.
The way we look at intros, basically just like a continuation of the thumbnail. Most people don't have YouTube Premium, right?
Yeah.
And so they'll click on a video, then they'll watch like a minute ad or 5-second ad and skip it, whatever they do. They will literally forget what they clicked on.
So what kind of things have you thought about with this video specifically, the intro?
We were thinking about basically flying camera back instead of flying camera forward. I want to see Jimmy's face. I want to see the $5 million cash prize. And I also want to communicate spectacle.
The other thing I thought was really interesting about the intro shot is they filmed it on 2 separate occasions across 6 hours of time. Given that the intro is the single most important 10 seconds of the entire video, these guys actually set up and recorded the full thing once before any contestants had even arrived, when they had the time to make sure that they have one intro that they know works. But then once again, with all the contestants, just in case that take ends up having better energy.
Is there a shortage of shirts?
I just keep ripping them. I'm not this short.
I'll tell you what isn't short, the amount of footage that these guys' editors have to get through. But
yeah.
there's a solution to that.
We have the best editors in the world. If we have 10 hours of footage, it gets sunk. The assistant editors will take it down to 2 hours of what's usable. Like a really great editor, an editor that can do videos at this level, I can't find them anywhere. And so preserving them and preventing them from burning out as much as possible is like the name of the game.
Thank you.
Dude, you're a legend. I love your videos, by the way. Actually, your editors are really good.
Don't get any ideas, man.
You guys looking to jump ship? No, I'm just kidding.
Right, let me take this off.
We're going to call it for tonight after the first challenge.
The timing on this is absolutely crazy. My brain is so fried, it doesn't feel like 3:42 a.m.
Yeah.
I guess there's fluorescent
3
lighting
a.m.
all around the place.
Can you see my face here, by the way? This is the face of a man who's been awake for nearly 24 hours because of the sudden decision change today to switch from day filming to night filming. In fact, scheduling just generally was easily one of the toughest parts of this shoot. Because
Oh yeah. Oh, I assume that scheduling would be terrible here, or like super hard. How do you schedule thousands? Am I too loud? Thousands of people. Like, how? You know what I mean?
the original plan of 2 days of filming, it actually ended up being 3 nights. Not to even mention the extra 3 days around those 3 nights that everyone involved in the shoot had to make sure they were always ready for. Not easy for anyone involved, contestants included.
I'm just kind of used to it. Usually we end up filming deep into the night like this. At night, I can point lights and control where your focus is. During the day, you see everything. So I prefer to film at night. I mean, it's pretty brutal. Rest up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, night
Sorry,
2, game 2.
showing
So in this game, contestants will stand around a whole load of briefcases. They look at a board, which will tell them which briefcases are safe and which will get them eliminated, and then they will have to get to one of those safe briefcases before anyone else can.
Oh my god. Yo, I'd be so mad if somebody, like, switched, like, if we made an agreement to switch ours and it was wrong. $5 million and you get away with nothing if you fail during this. Nothing. So you have to go all out. Like, there really isn't a chance, like, of you getting money when you're eliminated. That's only for the show. You get $2,000 per elimination.
What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I just honestly want to make sure the briefcases get put out right. I just want to make sure it all looks good. We have a lot riding on this shoot.
One thing you've talked about a lot is the way you tell stories. Is that changing?
Go watch a MrBeast video from 3 years ago. I'll be like 50% louder. It'll be like 50% faster.
A lot of shouting.
Yeah, and you'll get like a headache.
You're making like a purposeful effort. In this video, for example, just to slow down,
Exactly.
let some moments just sit.
Trust that people will watch because, you know, they're very invested in the story,
Yeah,
as opposed to like being tricked into watch because there's like cut.
What time is it right now? It's only like 10, right?
Actually, yeah, it's 9 p.m.
Oh yeah, this is pretty early. This is great.
It's like I actually should be awake right now. That's crazy.
Did you talk to the people who got out? I felt so bad.
Yeah, there was some pretty real tears.
We tried to make it easier on them by giving everyone $2,000. That way everyone at least had something to go home
so
with.
they
The
do
first
get
challenge, we eliminated 400 people. And since we gave each of them $2,000, that's $800,000.
Yo, $800,000. Yo, MrBeast. MrBeast. $800,000? Just give that shit to me, please. Like,
But the money isn't the only thing these guys have to think about when people are eliminated.
Like,
Do you remember these
stack of money
RFID bracelets? Well, this is where
real.
they come in again.
There's some sort of checkout process as well.
When they entered the arena, we scanned, so we knew they were here.
Scans, baby.
So we counted that we had 2,000 exactly. Then we could start the game. Then when they got into teams,
Oh, so when they sorted themselves, you added that data onto their RFIDs so that your system knows exactly
pink
which...
team, green team, yellow team, then we have all those lists ready. And so same as elimination. So all of the red team that was eliminated, even though we knew it was red team, just to be absolutely sure, we scanned every single one on the way out.
Wow.
Then we know if somebody's missing in the stadium.
Is this because you've been burned before on previous games?
how do you get missing? How do you lose where you are in a fucking stadium? Get out of here.
Hi, did you see the end of that game? But Jimmy had to call her up to tell her that, oh, come on, red team's out.
She was a red team contestant who was trying to stay.
Trying to stay in the game. Yeah, so the bracelets are really a way for us to keep track of everybody.
Now, if you already thought this shoot was a complicated affair,
If I failed and I was red team, what I would do is I'd do a magic trick where you take their wristband, put it on you, take their thing, put it on you, give them the red. Bye. Bye. Thank you for the $5 million, bitch. Like,
I've not seen the start of it, because it was at this point that I was introduced to a whole new branch of
I thought that was his beard.
operation. This is Emily, and she is a story producer.
Having all of us here and just taking notes of key moments that happen,
For a
little quotes we hear that would make
video.
good content, it just overall helps the post-production process.
So the entire role of these guys is to look and to listen to what's happening on the field, to try and figure out what the story is going to be while the video is still being shot.
Yo, as they're filming the video, they're making a story with the video. How, dude? Like, the time it takes them to produce a new video, like the quality of the video, and the time of its creation is so crazy to even fathom. Like, they're making movies, like, not like episodes of shows that are 5 times better in the span of a couple days. And it's completely done and it's ready to be thrown out there. Like, wow. That's insane. Like, do you not understand? I know, right?
By the time it ends up in the post-production editing stage, that team can be as efficient as possible.
Part of the recruitment process, you ask people to send a 1-minute video of themselves, and you use that to judge their character and their energy. And so you're saying as part of that, you pick the top tier people, and you're like, you get a microphone.
Yes. Be contestant.
Yeah. Not you. You're not good enough. Here you go. You're funny. You're bipolar too.
Mic'd up out of the 2000s. This board was the initial idea of who would get mic'd up. I think as they meet the people and as people like show their true selves
Oh, so they choose the people that they're gonna mic up before? These photos are low-key funny. What's the funniest one? What's the funniest one? Okay, so a good way to kiss the camera, buddy.
they'll switch it out.
This is absolutely crazy. This is movie investigation pinboard type vibe.
Once people get eliminated, they'll re-mic other people. Obviously, like, things change and mics change. So, like, we have people designated to go out there and keep track of who gets re-mic'd, which helps us, like, tremendously during the post-production process.
You've got heroes, villains, family, and then others. You've not just pegged people as being main characters, but you've pegged that they've got a personality trait that might make them a villain.
Yes.
So yeah, you can't predict the stories that will form, but
Yeah.
you can predict the people who are most likely to form them. Those people are given the microphones. That's fascinating.
How's that
Are
gonna
you
go?
listening to those people in real time?
On the average Beast video, we'll have one person listening. So we have 6 people, and then I'm doing like visuals right now. Everyone gets 7 people to listen to, so that instead of listening to 40 people at once, you only have to listen to 7 people.
So this is the live universal timecode.
Yes.
And that's synced with all the cameras, so you know exactly what's shooting when. And then these are the notes the story editors are leaving.
So this means that when the editors get the footage, it will not just automatically slot in at the exact time that each shot was actually taken, but they will also get all of this guiding information from the story producers, so they know specifically what to look for within those shots.
Everything's been thought about.
Yes.
So that's where all the story producers hang out. This is basically Jimmy's private
$7.2
viewing suite.
$7.15 million for one video. It's still going up too. It's not even like it's done. It's not done yet. It's not done yet.
So, whoa. It's basically the same thing, but this room is specifically designed for Jimmy to come and have a kind of one glance view of every single...
Dude, that's insane. You really do feel... Jimmy probably really does feel like the fucking main character. Like, this is deadass Squid Games. He's looking at... I don't even know. You can't even... 50, I assume 25 to 50 cameras. Just like that. Wow. That's crazy.
That's happening, so you can give really quick feedback in between him being on camera. There's a lot of screens here, so there's 18 TVs in this one room. Quite impressed with the bezels on these as well. It almost looks like one continuous video wall. They're bringing out the briefcases for the next game. Should probably go.
And you know what's extra crazy about this? Because everything that happens in the stadium is recorded and microdistant.
I hate when it's like day of and we do those things and it's not choreographed because it just looks very amateur. When it's all timed and choreographed and we can time lapse it, it can be like, bring out the briefcases! But if it's not, like sped up time lapse, it's really good.
So it has to come out in an organized way.
That looks good when it's sped up. Yeah, or then it just looks weird. It's perfect for attention.
Oh my god, dude, I love you more than this piece. I shouldn't say no.
Oh my god, is that on camera? Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Delete it right now. Please.
No.
5, 3, 2, 1, go!
It's like I see people. Oh, okay.
Bro, people really be fighting over this.
3, 2, 1, reveal!
I can't believe you're getting reactions like this at 4 a.m. in the morning.
But now seeing this game being filmed, there's another question that's been looming on my mind. Where does all the footage from all of these cameras actually go?
This is the DIT room. These guys are, I guess you could say, the very important but very unsung heroes of this project.
Dude, they're treating a YouTube video like it's a fucking movie, bro. That's insane. Like, the budget that they have for these freaking videos are insane.
Entire job is to make sure that no piece of footage goes missing, which, when there's like 500 cameras on a shoot, is a bit of a logistical problem. So, the whole process starts with these drives. Someone will physically run into this room with a box full of these drives. What these guys are doing is taking the footage on that drive and categorizing it based on which game that footage is from, which camera recorded that footage, and which type of microphone picked up the audio for that footage, which sounds like an absolute nightmare of a task, but they're doing it so that when the edit...
You know who I haven't seen in a while? Chandler. What happened to him? What happened to Chandler, bro? Like, Chandler, where are you, buddy? You know what I mean? He disappeared.
Editing the footage, all they need to do is to just think, which bit of footage do I need? As opposed to having to rummage through like 100 different folders to find it. But it will make the edit like 10 times faster. Right, now this is where the fun begins. So they plug these drives into their computers, which are all Mac Studios, by the way, because, well, I'm told they don't like Windows. But then, those Mac Studios are wired into something called an ingest station, which is 8 very large hard drives. Every single one is 20 terabytes, meaning that one ingest station has a max capacity of 160. And then you realize that there's 20 of these ingest stations in this room. So 3.2 petabytes of storage. But it gets crazier. Because they're shooting this show for Amazon.
3.2 petabytes, and it gets crazier? Hold up.
Amazon have insisted that they have at least 3 layers of backup for every single bit of footage.
So like 9 terabytes. I mean petabytes. 9 petabytes is 9,000 terabytes. 1 terabyte is 1,000 megabytes. No, gigabytes. 1 gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes. Oh my god, yeah, get out of here. Fucking hell.
So, as well as these ingest stations, every single drive is never getting erased. It will just stay as a permanent hard copy of everything that's been recorded. And then every single one of these ingest stations has a fiber cable coming out the back of it. This is a very fast connection. We're talking 25 gigabits per second.
Wow.
There's a very specific reason for this fiber cable, and we can actually follow it out of the room. Way out of the room. Still going, still going, still going.
And you follow that cable all the way around, and you end up with this, which is basically just one massive server.
And that serves as the third layer of
9
backup.
million!
It almost seems stupid just how many precautions are being taken. But then when you start to add up how much they're spending to make the show, it starts to make sense how much they're spending to keep the show.
This room is actually particularly cool for a few more reasons, because these are video recording boxes. So you know how it normally works with a camera? You record onto an SD card that's inserted inside. But these guys are doing it a little bit differently, because every single one of the fixed cameras dotted around the stadium is physically wired all the way across the stadium into these boxes. And that has two pretty major benefits. One, that instead of recording on tiny fiddly little SD cards, they can record onto proper drives. But also two, some of these cameras are, no joke, 100 meters up in the air. So imagine how much manpower it would require to individually keep track of every single camera so that it doesn't run out of storage, and then swap over the SD cards when it does. But with this setup, one person could literally man everything. This is also super interesting. So because this recording actually happens over a really long time, like I think we hit record at 10 p.m. It's now 3:12 in the morning. The lighting changes. So this guy over here is actually in real time adjusting the color temperature, the black levels, the saturation of the cameras to make sure that they stay consistent.
Both as the time of day changes, but also between.
Why don't they just have like a robot do that? Like, why do all that? Like, that guy is... I wouldn't say he's useless, but... With the budget of 100 million or whatever it was... I don't know, I feel like you could just get AI to do that nowadays.
Many different types of cameras being used on the shoot, because if you just left each one alone, they would all naturally take footage that looks slightly different to each other.
This is the video router. So it's the box in which every single one of the video signals that you see comes through first to be able to be distributed to all these separate monitors. So long story short, if this box goes down, so does the entire video, which is why there's a 24/7 fan just blowing cool air at it.
So, do you remember the pan-tilt zoom cameras that we talked about earlier? Well, this room is also where those are being remotely operated from.
And the beauty of these cameras is they allow you to follow the action. So let's say I find a disruption happening with these briefcases. I can find where that disruption is happening, and then I can just zoom in all the way onto that disruption. So it's allowing me from a distance to create these really stable cinematic sub-stories within the bigger story. That gets so close. You forget that the camera is positioned right on the very end of the stadium. It's just blowing my mind that all of this, like all...
That was being filmed from the other end of the stadium. What? Dude, it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. Like, oh my god.
This is the back end for one YouTube video.
Okay. Like, I don't want any more of these servers. Anymore. Yeah, I think he just yaps. He likes yapping.
To be super clear, do not GO until I actually say the word GO.
He's our guy.
Look up at the screen. All right, there you go. Oh, actually, I said it. You're right. Whoops.
Damn.
Oh my god.
I messed up, but hey.
I bet you picked a losing one.
So you can see what's right and what's wrong.
Hey.
That's good.
How are you feeling?
Nervous.
Yeah, I can see it on your face. Is it you versus every single person around you?
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm out.
Really?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How will you feel if you are?
It's fine. It's my dad's birthday today.
Is that worth losing $5 million?
No.
It's literally called Rick E. It's too perfect.
3, 2, 1. Open your briefcase.
Oh,
And with that, I decided that's enough Beast games for today.
That's
Too much heartbreak.
sad.
4:40 a.m. We're heading back. That feels like a victory.
I would be pissed. Like you could have, looked and could see what's right and what's wrong, and you didn't look at it hard enough. Damn, that sucks.
The time had come. It was time for the third, final, and most chaotic night of all. Starting with the flag game, where all contestants are going to line up on one side of the field, and each round a varying number of flags are brought into the middle. Contestants have to decide which round they're going to make a run for it, and when they do, they have to make sure they grab a flag while they're at it, or they're out, knowing that in total there aren't going to be enough flags for every player.
We're gonna make the first like 2 or 3 like really easy so they get it, and then after that, I mean, we're gonna do dozens of rounds. I want you guys to be super dumb.
Is there a dominant strategy, you think?
There's a lot of strategy to this. I would probably pick one quadrant and just be like, well, there's a flag here. I'm going no matter what. I'm going no matter what. I like really try to talk everyone around you out of it.
It was also at this point that I managed to get hold of something that you never really get to see.
So these are pre-visualizations of the Amazon thumbnail. And it's absolutely crazy. Like, how... These were pre-visualizations.
Mr. Who's the Boss does not drop things.
There's a clear favorite so far. I think this one wins.
They have one version of this thumbnail poster image based on like 15 of the most popular movies and games, from Fortnite to Money Heist to How to Train Your Dragon, and this is the one they ended up picking from them. Before long, it was time for the flag game to begin.
As soon as I blow this horn, the round will begin.
I won't lie to you, I found this game absolutely fascinating to watch.
Oh look, those two are racing for flag 1.
It started off so organized, with a few of the louder people basically making it very clear to the others around them that they were going to run for it, so that
I'd be like, I have 307, and if you don't, and if you grab 307, I will fucking kill you.
one else tries to. But then as the game went on, you start to notice that order breaking down, because you can't stay on the sidelines forever because they will just run out of flags.
Yeah.
So this just got more.
You know, I don't understand. I watched this video, right? And people were waiting for the last one. Like, in the beginning, of course, all the fast people were going, but you could just say, like, oh, don't worry about it, you can go next. Let me have this flag. And everybody would be like, okay. Then you grab it and you're done. Like, that's so simple.
There's a tiny little drone up there zipping around the stadium. I think we should find out who's flying it. Wait, he's up there. He literally looks like an Imperial Starfleet commander. I think this is the one we've seen zipping all around the stadium, like extremely quickly.
Yeah, this one as well.
Oh yeah, this looks very like homemade almost.
Yeah, they're all custom built.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
You made them?
Yeah, custom built, and then the gimbals are my designs.